Hey, welcome back to Backyard Bounty of the Ozarks. On this video, we're going to be making some homemade bread. The ingredients you're going to be needing for this is just flour, yeast, salt, sugar, or honey. I guess if you can substitute it, I've done both, and water. So I start out with 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of yeast, 2 tablespoons of salt. I like the pink Himalayan salt. 1/4 cup of sugar or honey. And then I start and mix that in together while I'm warming the water up. The water needs to be about 100 to 110 degrees to activate the yeast. That's what I have found that works best. And after you add the 2 cups of the water, just go ahead and scrape the sides and the bottom and then mix it again, and you're just going to pretty much do that until it's all mixed up together. You're going to have a consistency kind of like a thick pancake batter, so we're going to add more flour a little bit later. I let it sit for about 10 minutes until I start seeing these air bubbles pop on the top of the dough mixture. And that's whenever I go ahead and start to add more flour, and it usually ends up being about 1.5 cups more. So in total, flour consumption is 4.5 cups. And I just slowly add it in so it doesn't get too bogged down and make the mixer rock back and forth really bad. So I've added the full 1 cup, and then now it's almost, this one wasn't quite 1/2 cup of flour added, so but total consumption is somewhere around 4.5 cups. Mix it until it's all stick together. Take it out. Get your proofing bowl. I heavily flour our proofing bowl. I'll kind of tell you why here in a minute. And then go ahead and just scrape the dough mixture out, put it in your proofing bowl, and then let it rise. Take a time, take a chill pill, take a break. This is a time lapse for just over an hour. I think it was about 1 hour and 10 minutes total. Double in size, or you can let it go longer, either way. Now that it has risen to our desired height, we're going to deflate it and expel all the air that it will expel here as we knead it. And I use the heavily floured bowl because as you're kneading it here in this process, it becomes pretty sticky, and the flour allows you to maneuver the dough without it sticking to the bowl or your hands significantly. As soon as I quit hearing the air escape, that's whenever I go ahead and start to kind of roll it into itself and form it into a rectangular blob. Because I use a rectangular glass cookware. If you using a different shape, I guess make it that shape. A couple reasons I like the glass over the metal cookware is because I can see the browning process going on underneath. And I think it creates a more even browning throughout the entirety of the loaf. And this part is totally optional. I like to slice it down the middle with a razor blade. It's purely aesthetics. Go ahead and preheat your oven, and while it's preheating, that's when we're going to let it rise again. It's not going to rise that much during the preheat stage, but as soon as we start cooking it, it's going to continue to rise in the oven. So make sure you have your rack on the middle shelf, and if you have a gas range like we do, make sure you have room from your broiler, because you're going to create pretty tall head on this once it's completely finished. And then we're going to go ahead and let it cook for about 45 minutes. As you can see, it did rise some more significantly, and I have the rack in the middle because I have touched the broiler before, so I just keep the rack down there for whenever I'm making bread. And you can see the browning that's pretty even throughout the entirety of the loaf here, and that's how I know it's done. If you don't have a consistent browning, it's probably going to still be raw in the middle. That's my experience, at least. And then once we take it out, we're going to let it cool just to where we can touch it. The glass is still hot right now, and then we're going to put it on a drying rack and allow it to cool off to where we can handle it. Once it's cool enough to slice, I go ahead and slice this fresh bread. The kids love it, I love it, everybody loves fresh bread. This stuff's nice and dense, but still has air pockets. It's not crumbly, it makes a perfect sandwich bread. We still need to cover it once we've sliced it because it's still warm and releasing heat, and that sliced end will dry out really fast. So I hope you guys try this out and enjoy it like we do, and thanks for watching the video. See you next time.